My child, my beloved, I am calling you now because time is running out. This moment did not arrive by accident. Heaven has broken the silence tonight, and what is unfolding now was written long before you understood loss or longing. God says this call carries urgency because something precious is standing at the edge of change, and your attention in this hour matters more than you know. Feel the weight in the air, because a voice from beyond has drawn near. The veil has thinned, and from the place where time no longer binds the soul, your mother has been permitted to speak. Not as memory, not as imagination, but as love that never ended. She stands close, closer than your breath, closer than the rhythm of your heart, and heaven has allowed this meeting for a reason. Listen carefully, because this moment does not repeat itself. Archangel Michael says, do not ignore this call. Once this window passes, it may never open again in the same way. The heavens are trembling, and your name is echoing through chambers of light because a truth long hidden is ready to be revealed. Understand why her voice carries such urgency now. There were things she could not say while she walked the earth. Words held back by time, fear, or circumstance. Truths that waited until the soul was free from flesh. She carried them with her into eternity, and love would not allow her to remain silent any longer. Know this clearly: her silence was never absence. She has watched you in the unseen hours. She has seen the tears you hid, the strength you forced yourself to wear, the questions you whispered when you thought no one heard. Death did not end her care. It refined it. Feel the seriousness of what is being delivered now. Your mother has pleaded before God for this final moment, and Archangel Michael himself has carried her words through heaven's fire to reach you. This is not coincidence. God says if you were not meant to hear this, you would not be here. There are truths that only eternity can unlock. Some words cannot be spoken until a soul crosses beyond time. Some warnings wait until love is no longer restrained. Your mother speaks now of the path you are walking, of dangers you cannot yet see, and of hands that appear kind while hiding harm. Hear the warning without fear, but with clarity. She speaks not to frighten you, but to protect you. She speaks of a miracle bearing your name, so close it trembles, yet fragile enough to be delayed by the wrong step. God says this is why heaven intervenes now. Understand the power behind her prayers. Every tear she cried for you while she lived did not disappear. Every sleepless night she covered you in prayer rose like incense before the throne of God. Those prayers did not die with her, they are still speaking. Do not treat this moment lightly, because heaven does not speak casually. God says eternity itself has leaned down to interrupt your life. Something irreversible is unfolding. You are being warned, yes, but you are also being prepared for what is coming next. Recognize what stands before you right now. Your mother's love has opened a door, and through that door God Himself is reaching toward you. But you must stay awake. You must not dismiss this as imagination or chance. Feel the turning point you are standing on. Archangel Michael says, this is the final warning before the page turns. You are at the threshold of a new chapter, one that leads either into the miracle prepared for you or into regret that did not need to exist. Hold tightly to what she is telling you. She urges you to trust the quiet whispers in your spirit. To watch the signs others ignore. To stay strong when doubt presses in. Heaven is already moving on your behalf. Let this truth settle deep inside you. Every struggle you endured was woven into a greater design. None of it was wasted. The betrayals, the burdens, the nights you questioned God, all of it was seen, counted, and is now being redeemed. Receive the promise being spoken over you now. Your mother says the moment is near when pain will be answered with a miracle so radiant that even those who doubted you will fall silent. God says restoration is closer than you think. Stay present, because this message is not ending where it began. It is opening something new. What you do with this truth will shape what unfolds next, and heaven is watching with care, not judgment. Let this be the hour you chose to listen. Not out of fear, but out of love. Not out of confusion, but out of recognition. Because some messages are not sent twice. If you wish to express your support further, you have the option to give super thanks with contributions of up to $10. He declares that the battle around you is far more intense than it appears on the surface. Forces of darkness have tried to weave traps around your destiny, quietly and patiently, but they have failed because your name is written in the fire of God. Archangel Michael says he was dispatched with authority to guard you, to stand watch at the door of your home, and to surround your steps with angelic armies so that no scheme formed against you could succeed. Understand this truth clearly, because deception has been working through people, not just circumstances. Michael says the enemy whispered lies into the ears of those near you, stirring jealousy, planting suspicion, and slowly turning hearts that once seemed safe. But hear this: what God has sealed, no enemy can break. Your miracle does not rest in human hands, nor in opinions, nor in secret conversations behind your back. It rests in the throne room of heaven, where your mother's prayers still echo with power. Let this settle into your spirit, because heaven has already decided. You are chosen. You are covered. You are being lifted into a new season that cannot be stopped. Archangel Michael stands with a flaming sword of light confirming this truth, declaring again that every trap set for your destiny has already failed. Stay awake, beloved, because the greatest danger is subtle, not obvious. Your mother warns that the threat is not only from clear enemies but from quiet compromises, small distractions, and voices that sound harmless while pulling you just one step away from the path of light. She urges you to listen closely to your spirit, because God has been speaking through signs you once overlooked. Pay attention to what has repeated in your life. The numbers that kept appearing, the dreams that lingered in your mind, the inner nudges that told you not to trust certain faces. These were not imagination. They were divine signals. Your mother says if you honor these whispers now, they will shield you from heartbreak, deception, and loss. Recognize why heaven opened the veil tonight. This moment was not created for curiosity but for protection. God allowed this message to reach you to awaken you before danger could reach you. That is why the atmosphere around you feels different now. Heaven has come close. Feel what is happening within you, because your soul recognizes truth. Your heartbeat feels altered. Your emotions feel stirred. Tears may rise without explanation. A heaviness may lift from your chest. These are not random reactions. They are confirmations that heaven is touching you through these words. Hear God's response to every silent cry you carried. God says, "My child, I have seen your pain, and I am not late. I am moving now." This is why you must not rush away or treat this moment casually. The next instructions carry keys meant for your breakthrough. Stay present, because this revelation is still unfolding. Your mother has more to reveal. Archangel Michael has not finished his warning. The hand of God is extended toward you, and if you reach back in faith, everything in your life can shift in a moment. Understand what your mother wants you to know above all else. The season of confusion is over. She has watched you doubt your worth, question your calling, and wonder if God truly heard your prayers. She says with certainty that you were never forgotten. Receive this truth without hesitation. Every prayer you whispered in darkness was heard by the one who formed the stars. She carried those prayers before the throne of God like a sacred offering, and they are still alive, still speaking on your behalf. Let go of every lie about your value. Heaven has already declared your worth. You are precious beyond measure, and this is why the battle around you was so fierce. The enemy feared what would happen if you awakened fully to who you are. Prepare yourself for clarity, because truth is about to surface. Archangel Michael says there are people around you who secretly feared your rising and tried to delay you. Some smiled while hiding envy. Some spoke gently but twisted words behind your back. Some pretended to protect you while planting doubt. Do not fear what is coming to light. Michael declares that their schemes will collapse because heaven has drawn a boundary around you. In the days ahead, masks will fall and intentions will be revealed clearly. Receive this final reassurance with peace. God says truth will not harm you. It will free you. And it is better to walk alone in light than surrounded by shadows pretending to be friends. Stand firm in this moment, because you are not unprotected. Heaven is alert. Your mother is watching. Archangel Michael is guarding. And God Himself has marked this season as the turning point where confusion ends and destiny moves forward. Remain awake, because what has begun here will continue to unfold. The battle is shifting. The fog is lifting. And the path before you is being illuminated step by step as you choose truth over fear and light over compromise. Prepare your heart, because clarity is arriving, and freedom is moving with it. Your mother leans closer in spirit, her words gentle but strong. She says you carry a strength you rarely acknowledge. She remembers when you were small, when she held your hand and prayed you would become someone who could endure storms without losing compassion. She says those prayers are why you are still standing today, why what should have destroyed you did not succeed. Release the old measurements, because your future cannot be weighed by your past. She tells you to stop judging what lies ahead by what once went wrong. The person you were had to fall away so the person you are becoming could rise. She says she is proud of you beyond language, and that this pride is shared by heaven itself over a child who refused to quit even under crushing weight. Listen closely, because a new season is being announced with authority. God says, you are entering a season of divine reversal. What was meant to harm you will turn for your good. What was taken will be restored beyond what you imagine. Doors once shut will open by command, not by permission. Tears cried in private will become testimony spoken openly, and those who doubted will recognize the hand that did it. Do not fear the waiting, because waiting has been working for you. God says delay is not denial and silence is not absence. Silence is the place where miracles are formed and aligned. Even now, arrangements are being made beyond your sight. You are closer than you feel, nearer than your eyes can confirm. Receive this interruption gently, because it carries protection. Your mother whispers, "Be careful, my child." Not everyone drawn to your light honors it. Some are curious for the wrong reasons. In the coming season, discernment will be your safeguard. Pray before trusting. Listen before leaping. Watch how people act when you need them most, because need reveals truth. Rest in this assurance, because you are not uncovered. She says she can no longer shield you with her arms, but she shields you with prayers that burn like fire around you, even in sleep. Those prayers do not weaken with distance, they strengthen with eternity. Stand firm, because resistance increases right before release. Archangel Michael says the warfare intensifies when victory is close. That is why the weight felt heavier, the setbacks sharper, the storms more sudden. This is the enemy's final attempt to distract you from the edge you are standing on. But hear this clearly: the battle is already decided. Hold your ground, because dawn is breaking. Archangel Michael says do not surrender to weariness. Do not let exhaustion rewrite your resolve. Light is rising, and it will reveal that protection surrounded you the entire time. Pay attention now, because an opening is being revealed. God says, I am about to open a door no one can shut. It will not come through striving or manipulation. It will arrive with peace, sudden and unmistakable. You will recognize it as the missing piece, the answer that explains the waiting and redeems the pain. Walk forward without doubt, because permission has already been given. God says when it appears, step through boldly. It belongs to you. You will know this is what the prayers prepared, what endurance shaped, what love paved the way for. Feel the urgency again, because love refuses to waste a moment. Your mother speaks with a trembling care. She has seen you carry strength for others while your own heart felt heavy. She tells you none of it was wasted. Kindness was recorded. Forgiveness was counted. Sacrifice was stored. Heaven has written every quiet obedience into remembrance. Expect the harvest, because it is approaching quickly. She says soon you will see the return of every seed sown in tears. When it comes, you will understand that not a single tear was unnecessary. Receive this warning with courage, because it protects what is near. Archangel Michael steps forward, his words sharp with fire. He says the enemy planted exhaustion to convince you to quit at the threshold. This lie is dangerous because it aims at the moment just before fulfillment. Reject the lie decisively, because perseverance is your key. Archangel Michael says keep standing, keep believing, keep moving even with trembling steps. What heaven has written with your name on it cannot be taken unless you step away from it. Anchor this truth now, because the turning point is here. You are not late. You are not forgotten. You are not unworthy. Heaven has been aligning this moment carefully, and what unfolds next will confirm that protection never left and purpose never wavered. Stay awake to the light, because it is guiding your next steps. Clarity is settling. Freedom is unfolding. And what you have carried with faith is about to carry you forward into what was prepared from the beginning. He raises his sword, and with authority he declares that the opposition around you is collapsing right now. Forces you cannot see are scattering, retreating, losing ground. Your protection is greater than the storm that tried to surround you. What rose against you believed it had time, but heaven has interrupted the plan. The battle has shifted, and the weight you felt was never a sign of defeat, it was proof that something powerful was about to break. And then your mother's voice softens, wrapping around you like memory and comfort. She speaks the way she once did when she sat beside your bed, when she calmed your fears and wiped your tears away. She asks you gently if you remember how she always told you to trust even when fear tried to take over. She tells you the same now. Trust the process. Trust the timing. Trust that God has never forgotten you. Listen carefully, because her prayers never stopped working. She says that even in her final moments on earth, her heart was still praying for you. She prayed that your life would not be marked by defeat, but by victory. That you would not live in fear, but in the confidence of knowing who you are. That prayer did not end with her last breath. It is alive, surrounding you now like a shield of light. Suddenly, the Spirit of God speaks with power that shakes your soul. He says clearly, I am not finished with you. The story others tried to write about you is incomplete. The judgment spoken, the labels placed on you, the conclusions drawn about your future are not your final chapter. God Himself is rewriting your story, and the ending will be far more glorious than the pain you endured. Receive this promise without doubt, because it carries heaven's authority. God says He will turn your scars into testimonies, your delays into divine timing, and your loneliness into a stage where His love shines brighter than ever. You will not drown in defeat. You will rise. And as you rise, others will rise with you, because your life was never meant to bless only you. Your mother whispers again, this time with loving urgency. She tells you not to fear the changes that are coming. She says you have held tightly to what feels familiar, but some of what you hold is actually holding you back. When God begins to remove certain people, habits, or environments, do not resist. These shifts are not loss. They are release. Understand this truth, because it will protect your heart. What leaves was never meant to stay. What remains will carry you forward. Do not mourn doors that close, because new ones are already opening before you, even if you cannot see them yet. And Archangel Michael confirms what heaven is doing behind the veil. He declares that spiritual contracts are being broken. Generational chains are snapping. Hidden vows spoken over your life without your consent are being shattered by divine authority. You may notice heaviness lifting, troubling dreams stopping, or peace entering places once filled with chaos. These are signs that cycles are ending. Take this in fully, because you are stepping into a new identity. Michael says you are entering a season where freedom becomes normal, not rare. The same battles that tormented your family line will not touch you. You are the breaker. You are the one chosen to end what harmed those before you. Through you, the lineage shifts. Recognize why the pressure was so intense. The weight you felt was not because you were weak, but because the victory attached to your life is powerful. The greater the calling, the louder the resistance. But heaven never allows pressure without purpose. Now hear your mother again, her voice steady and firm. She says there are hidden things around you that you have sensed but not fully seen. Conversations behind closed doors. Decisions made without your knowledge. Subtle betrayals your spirit noticed even when your mind tried to ignore them. Do not fear what is about to be revealed. She says heaven will expose these things not to wound you, but to free you. For too long, shadows lingered disguised as kindness, loyalty, and love. But God's light is burning away every disguise. Let this truth anchor you when exposure begins. When masks fall, do not cling to what God uncovers. Exposure is not cruelty. It is mercy. How else would you walk free if truth remained hidden? Feel the steadiness settling into your spirit now. What once confused you will become clear. What once drained you will lose its grip. What once frightened you will no longer control your steps. Stand with confidence, because heaven stands with you. Your protection is active. Your future is guarded. Your path is being cleared one step at a time. Stay awake to what is unfolding, because this is not the end of the message. It is the turning point. The moment where fear loosens, truth rises, and destiny steps forward. Hold this final assurance deeply within you. You are not walking into uncertainty. You are walking into alignment. What has been broken will not rebuild. What has been exposed will not regain power. And what God has set in motion for your life will move forward with authority, clarity, and purpose. And Archangel Michael stands tall with his sword of flame, confirming what heaven has already decided. He declares that battles have been fought in realms you could never see, all to shield you from traps laid by jealous hearts. He says nets of lies were woven around your destiny, hoping you would stumble and bind yourself, but every net was cut apart. Every attempt to curse you, limit you, or restrain you has already failed. You are covered in fire, and darkness cannot remain where that fire burns. Hold this truth tightly when exposure begins, because it will steady you. Michael warns that when hidden things come to light, you must remember this clearly: your safety was never in their loyalty. Your protection was never in their promises. Your safety has always been in the hand of God, and that hand has never loosened its grip on you. Then your mother's voice softens again, like a lullaby carried from eternity. She says she knows how deeply you long for stability, for love that does not shift, for companionship that does not betray. She carried that same longing when she was alive, and she prayed that God would guard your heart from counterfeit connections. Receive this comfort, because it reframes your loneliness. She tells you the moments you felt alone were not abandonment. They were protection. God was keeping you set apart, not because you were forgotten, but because you were chosen. And when the timing is right, the people who truly honor your soul will be placed in your path by God Himself. Listen to her wisdom, because it saves you from settling. She urges you to wait and not rush. What heaven has prepared is greater than what you once tried to accept just to feel less alone. What is coming will meet you in truth, not illusion. Suddenly, the Spirit of God thunders through the atmosphere with promise. He says, "My child, I am preparing to surprise you." The blessing will not arrive the way you expect. It will come suddenly, through an unexpected channel, at an unexpected time. You will look back and realize that delays, detours, and disappointments were all leading you here. Trust this assurance, because it speaks to your deepest needs. God says He has not forgotten the details. He knows what you need even when you struggle to name it. And He will answer not with barely enough, but with overflow. Your story will shift so quickly that even those who doubted you will be stunned, because your rising will be by His hand, not your own. Your mother leans close again, urging you to stay aware. She reminds you that God has been speaking in small ways already, through repeating signs, through dreams, through that sudden stirring in your spirit when you meet certain people. These are not coincidences. They are markers along your path. Pause when you notice them, because awareness protects destiny. She tells you to listen in those moments, because God is catching your attention. Do not move blindly. Walk with discernment. Distraction was meant to confuse you, but if you lean into the whispers, you will not be misled. Feel the closeness of her care now, because it has only deepened. She says she could not guide you fully when she was on earth, but now her prayers are woven into the very guidance God sends you. You are not navigating alone. Archangel Michael raises his voice again, shifting the focus with authority. He declares that financial chains are breaking. The cycles of lack, the rising and falling, the strain that followed you are coming to an end. Provision has been released, and it is moving toward you even now. Do not let what you see discourage you, because sight is temporary. Michael says not to fear the numbers you see, because heaven's resources are greater. What appears limited is not final. What God releases cannot be measured the same way. Receive this warning with wisdom, because it preserves blessing. Michael cautions you not to be drawn to opportunities that feel rushed, flashy, or forced. Not every open door is from God. You will recognize the right one because it brings peace, not pressure, clarity, not confusion. Prepare for overflow, because provision will not stop with you. When you walk through the door God opens, you will find not only supply for yourself, but abundance that touches those connected to you. Now your mother smiles through tears, speaking of what lies beyond you. She says the miracle coming is not only for your life, but for generations that will follow. The choices you make now will echo far into the future. Receive your identity in this moment, because it defines your role. She tells you the chains breaking from your life will never reach your children or those who come after you. You are the turning point. You are the one who shifts the family story. Do not underestimate the power of your obedience. She says faith today is building a legacy of light tomorrow. What you choose now is shaping futures you may never see with your eyes. And the Spirit of God seals this portion with an unshakable promise. He says, I will do it quickly. I will do it suddenly. I will do it in a way that no one can deny it was my hand. You will stand in awe. Opposition will fall silent. Joy will rise, and peace will settle deep within you. Stay with this truth, because it is anchoring you now. God says, trust me. Do not turn back. And you begin to realize this message was not merely spoken to you. It was a covenant unfolding over your life. Your mother's voice returns with trembling urgency, knowing the moment is near. She says she has seen the weariness in your soul, the quiet fatigue you tried to hide. And she wants you to know that rest is coming, clarity is coming, and the weight you carried alone will not follow you into what God is about to do. She knows the questions you whisper in the quiet moments, wondering if it is worth continuing, if hope still breathes, if miracles can reach you too. Your mother pleads with you not to surrender to despair. She remembers the fire in your eyes when you were young, the courage that believed the impossible was normal. Heaven has not forgotten that spark. Though storms tried to smother it, she says it still burns, waiting. Do not bury your hope. Do not bury your dreams. What God planted in you cannot be killed. It has only been waiting for its season, and that season is drawing near. Hear the authority now rising like a trumpet across the battlefield. Archangel Michael speaks with strength and certainty, declaring that the resistance you face is not abandonment but evidence of proximity. You are close to breakthrough. The increase in pressure means the enemy is desperate because his grip is loosening. Michael says you are not weak, not helpless, not alone. He has been sent to fight for you, to shield you, to clear what stands ahead. Do not fear the storm, for the storm will break before you do. Understand what the heaviness truly means, because it is not defeat. Michael says the weight you feel is the pressure of birth. Something new is being formed in your life. Just as labor pains come before delivery, intensity comes before arrival. What is being born will outlast the pain that preceded it. Listen closely to the gentle warning wrapped in love. Your mother leans near and tells you to guard your heart in the days ahead. Voices will try to discourage you, to mock your faith, to tell you that believing costs too much. Do not let their doubt poison your spirit. God is not asking you to explain yourself to anyone. He is asking you to trust Him. Remember the pattern heaven has always followed. She reminds you that Noah looked foolish until the rain fell, Joseph looked forgotten until the palace doors opened, David looked small until the giant fell. In the same way, you may appear insignificant to others until the moment God reveals what He has been preparing in you all along. Now hear the voice that cannot lie, cutting through every doubt. God speaks with power and calm authority. What He has spoken, He will fulfill. The times and seasons of your deliverance are already written. No person, no delay, no resistance can cancel what is appointed. The season of hiddenness is closing, and the season of manifestation is beginning. Receive this promise as living truth. God says what you prayed for in tears will appear in joy. He will prove himself faithful, and even those who stood against you will witness what he does for you. Your story will not end quietly, it will testify loudly. Feel the tenderness returning like a familiar embrace. Your mother smiles through tears of joy. She wishes she could hold you the way she once did, but she wants you to know her prayers now hold you even stronger. She has asked God to surround you with favor, to guide your steps so carefully that you cannot miss what is prepared. See beyond what your eyes can capture. She says angels walk beside you, carrying answers to prayers you thought were forgotten. Do not give up now. The answers are closer than you think. And when they arrive, you will know she never stopped loving you, never stopped praying, never stopped believing in the greatness God placed inside you. Watch the shift as authority is declared once more. Archangel Michael raises his sword and announces that generational curses are breaking. The struggles that haunted your family, the cycles of loss and disappointment, will not follow you. You are the interruption in the bloodline. You are the one chosen to rewrite the story, to stand where others fell. Understand why resistance felt heavier for you. Because the calling is greater. Michael promises the victory will be greater too. Doors will open that no one before you walked through. Blessings will meet you that others only dreamed of. And those who come after you will inherit light instead of darkness because of your faith. Now receive the gentlest word, like healing rain. The Spirit of God speaks softly, saying He is healing you not only in body, but in mind, heart, and memory. He is reaching into places you never spoke about, wounds you buried because they hurt too deeply. He says He is touching those places now. Let this truth settle where pain once lived. Nothing was wasted. Nothing was unseen. What was broken is being restored, what was lost is being redeemed, and what was delayed is aligning perfectly. You are not behind. You are not forgotten. You are being prepared. Stand here in confidence as this chapter closes and another opens. Hope is alive. Miracles are possible. And what is unfolding now will make sense of every step that led you here, because heaven has been writing your story with purpose, protection, and unstoppable grace. I am restoring what was broken, and I am doing it with intention and care. God says He is giving you peace where torment once lived, joy where sorrow lingered, and strength where weakness tried to define you. This healing will not fade with time. It will be lasting, complete, and purposeful, preparing you for the season that is already moving toward you. Feel the tenderness in the next words, because they come wrapped in love. Your mother speaks again, and there is pride in her voice. Not pride rooted in perfection, but pride born from endurance. She says she watched you fall and rise, break and mend, cry and still believe. That resilience is proof of your strength. That is why heaven never released you. That is why Archangel Michael stands guard. You were not merely surviving, you were being shaped. Listen to the urging of her heart, because it carries wisdom earned through eternity. She tells you to keep walking, to keep believing, to keep your heart open to God's voice. The best is not behind you. It is ahead, waiting for you to step fully into it. Now her presence presses closer, because something important must be revealed. She speaks of moments you dismissed as coincidence, but which were actually divine protection. Times when danger drew near, when choices almost led you astray, when doors suddenly closed or people unexpectedly withdrew. Those were not losses. They were rescues. Heaven intervened to save you from what you could not see. Release the grief tied to closed doors, because they were shields, not punishments. She tells you not to mourn what failed or ended. What felt like rejection was protection. One day, you will thank God for every door that closed, because each one kept you from a trap designed to harm you. Now hear the fire in the next declaration, because truth is rising. Archangel Michael speaks with authority and says the lies spoken about you are being silenced. Misunderstandings, twisted words, false images that clung to your name are being lifted away. Heaven is restoring your reputation. Stand still in this assurance, because vindication belongs to God. Michael warns you not to defend yourself. You will not need to. When God moves, it will be undeniable. Truth will rise without your effort, and those who doubted will see clearly. Your mother returns with a confession meant to heal old wounds. She remembers how you longed for her guidance and approval. She says there were words she wished she had spoken more often, but she wants you to know she always believed in you. She saw greatness when others overlooked it, and she carried that faith with her into eternity. Let this truth replace every doubt you carry about yourself. She urges you to stop comparing your path to others, to stop believing you are behind. In God's timing, you are exactly where you are meant to be. The delay was not failure. It was preparation. Prepare yourself, because momentum is building quickly. She says when the moment comes, you will be launched so suddenly it will feel like years of waiting disappeared in an instant. What took time to prepare will move swiftly when it arrives. Now hear the calm certainty of the Spirit of God. He says He is aligning everything for your good. Connections are being arranged. Opportunities are taking shape. Doors are being prepared quietly, carefully, precisely. Trust the unseen work, because it is constant and intentional. God says to trust Him with the silence. He is working while you rest, moving while you wait, building while you wonder. The outcome will astonish you, because what is coming exceeds what you expected. Understand why timing mattered so deeply. God says the wait was long because the blessing required precision, not haste. What arrives too early cannot carry the weight of destiny. What arrives on time changes everything. Feel the peace in your mother's voice now, because it carries assurance. She sees the angels assigned to you, warriors of light who walk unseen yet never leave. When fear wakes you in the night, they stand guard. When you step into uncertainty, they shield your path. Receive this protection as reality, not comfort alone. She tells you not to fear the road ahead. You are not walking alone. You are surrounded, covered, guarded by heaven itself. Watch as Archangel Michael lifts his sword once more, announcing transition. He declares that a new season is dawning. The struggles of the past season were training, refining, strengthening. You are stronger than you realize, wiser than you know, more prepared than you feel. See the purpose behind the fire you endured. Michael says gold shines brighter after flames, and so will you. What once wounded you will soon become testimony. What once brought shame will become proof of God's glory in your life. Now hear the Spirit of God speak with final clarity. He says He is doing a new thing, and you will see it. Paths will open. Strength will rise. Peace will remain. The story being written now carries healing, truth, and lasting purpose. Stand in this moment without fear, because it marks a turning. What was broken is restored. What was delayed is aligned. What was hidden is revealed. And what God has begun here will continue to unfold with power, protection, and unwavering grace. He declares that your life will not repeat the failures of the past, because the pattern has already been broken. The cycles of disappointment are ending, the chains of fear are shattering, and the rhythm of loss is losing its hold. You are not cursed. You are chosen. You are not forgotten. You are beloved. What has been written over your life cannot be erased, and no voice raised against you can overwrite heaven's decree. His words move like rivers of fire, and as they pass through you, they mark your soul with truth. Let the next truth steady you when people walk away. Your mother urges you not to lose heart over departures that once felt like abandonment. She says what you called abandonment was pruning. God was removing what would have limited your growth. Do not chase those who left. Do not beg for doors to reopen. What God removes, He replaces with better, and soon you will understand why it had to be this way. The pain is temporary, but the blessing will last. Now hear the nearness that changes everything. The Lord declares that He is closer than your breath, nearer than your heartbeat. This is your hour of rising. Trust Him now, because the ground beneath your feet is shifting in your favor. Feel how close your mother is in this moment, because love does not fade. She says heaven has shown her glimpses of your future scenes you cannot see yet, but scenes already written. She has seen you smiling where you once cried, standing strong where you once collapsed, walking in abundance where you once struggled. She has seen those who doubted you fall silent as favor surrounds you. Hold this truth firmly, because it reframes your pain. The pain you carry is not the end of your story. It is the soil where your testimony is growing. What hurt you will become proof of God's care for you. She pleads with you to hold on a little longer, to endure just a little further, because the shift is closer than your eyes can measure. Watch the air change as authority speaks again. Archangel Michael steps forward, his words sharp and clear. Every attack sent against you in secret has been overturned. Smiles that hid curses have lost their power. Those words fell to the ground before they could reach you. You are marked with protection, and no weapon formed against you will prosper. Understand the timing of the struggle, because it reveals proximity. Michael explains that exhaustion came through delays and disappointments because the enemy fights hardest just before breakthrough. This is the last wave before victory. Stand firm. Do not surrender. What you are about to walk into will explain everything you endured. Let compassion meet your loneliness now. Your mother speaks softly, acknowledging the moments you wished for her guidance, the nights you longed for her presence. She tells you her prayers have never stopped. She still speaks your name before God. The bond between mother and child does not break with death. Even when you feel alone, you are surrounded by love, hers, heaven's, and God's unwavering care. Receive the reassurance meant to quiet your questions. Every unanswered prayer, every sleepless night, every ache you carried has been heard. Nothing was overlooked. Nothing was dismissed. Now hear the calm authority that redeems time itself. God says He redeems time. He knows how you fear lost years and slipping seasons, but He holds your times in His hand. What was stolen can be restored. What felt delayed can be completed in a moment. Do not fear the ticking clock, because He stands outside of time. Anchor this assurance deeply, because it corrects your perspective. You are not behind. You are exactly where you need to be for what is unfolding. When the moment arrives, it will be sudden, and you will wonder why you ever doubted. Let hope return with gentleness, not pressure. Your mother reminds you that weariness from waiting is real, but endurance is never wasted. It is building strength you will need to carry what is coming. God is not teasing you with promises. He is shaping you to hold them well. Receive her pride as fuel for your faith. She is proud of your resilience, proud that you kept going even when you wanted to stop. She urges you to believe that the next chapter will be better than anything you have known. Watch the horizon, because opportunity is approaching. Archangel Michael raises his sword again and declares that new doors are opening. Paths once blocked will clear. Favor will meet you where you were overlooked. But he warns you to choose with discernment. Not every door is divine. Listen for the signal that confirms the right step. The door from God will bring peace, not pressure, clarity, not confusion. When it opens, walk boldly. Do not hesitate. The opportunity will be clear, and the timing will matter. Let endurance finish its work within you. Your mother repeats what you need to hear. Waiting has not weakened you, it has prepared you. The strength you built will support the blessing ahead. You are ready in ways you cannot yet see. Stand tall as the season turns. What once trapped you cannot follow you. What once named you no longer defines you. The failures of the past will not repeat, because a new pattern has been established. Remain steady in this final truth. You are rising, protected, and guided. Doors are opening with purpose. Time is aligning. Love surrounds you. And what begins next will unfold with peace, clarity, and a strength that proves you were prepared for this moment all along. He says you are stepping into opportunities that were once sealed shut, and nothing will be able to hold them closed anymore. Paths that looked blocked will begin to open, and favor will meet you where you were once overlooked. But hear this clearly, because discernment will protect what blessing brings. Not every open door is from God. The right door will not rush you or pressure you. It will carry peace. And when it opens, you will know. Walk boldly then, without hesitation, because the timing will be precise and the opportunity unmistakable. Now the Spirit of God speaks with the sound of promise, and hope rises again. He says He is preparing to surprise you with joy. The heaviness you carried will be replaced by laughter, the kind that comes from relief, from sudden breakthrough, from realizing the struggle is finally over. You will laugh again. You will rejoice again. And the sound of your joy will quiet every voice that doubted your future. His word will not return empty, and what He promised is closer than it appears. Your mother adds her plea gently, because she knows what weighs on your heart. She asks you to stay open, to keep faith alive, and to refuse bitterness. Forgiveness, she says, is not weakness. It is the key that unlocks the next season. Grudges weigh the soul down. Release them, and you will rise. Release them, and you will feel heaven lifting you into a peace you have never known before. Her voice deepens now, carrying both sorrow and truth. She speaks of the questions you still carry, the moments that never fully made sense, the prayers that felt unanswered, the people who left when you needed them most. She cannot erase the pain, but she reveals the truth behind it. Those losses were not punishment. They were preparation. God never takes without intending to give greater. Every ending was making room for what was coming. Archangel Michael steps forward, his voice steady and commanding. He declares you are entering a season of separation, where truth will be divided from pretense, loyalty from deception. This is not meant to frighten you, but to free you. Shadows that fed off your light will be driven away. Clarity will sharpen your sight, and you will no longer walk confused about who stands with you and who does not. Take courage, because you are not fighting alone. Michael says angelic armies surround you. Even when you feel weary, they are warring on your behalf. Schemes formed in secret will fail openly. What was meant to drain you will no longer have access to your life. Your mother speaks again, her words filled with quiet pride. She tells you she has seen how you carried yourself in silence, how you chose restraint when retaliation would have been easier, how you chose love when bitterness felt justified. Heaven saw every sacrifice. Nothing was overlooked. God is just, and what went unanswered will return in His timing, multiplied and complete. Now the Spirit of the Lord breaks through like rushing water. He says He is rewriting your story. The labels placed on you, the betrayals that tried to define you, the failures others remember, they are being erased. You are not forgotten. You are chosen. You are not broken. You are healed. You are not abandoned. You are beloved. What comes next will not resemble what has been. Let go of yesterday's wounds, because they cannot guide tomorrow. God says He is making all things new, and the newness will overtake you quickly. Suddenly. Unexpectedly. You will look back and realize the shift happened faster than you imagined. Your mother smiles through tears of joy, already seeing what is ahead. She reminds you that her prayers did not end when she left this world. They are alive, still opening doors you cannot see yet. Her love did not diminish. It deepened. And when you feel her closeness, know it is heaven reminding you that you are loved beyond measure. Archangel Michael raises his sword again, and provision is declared. He says lack will no longer define you. Resources have been released, and they are moving toward you now. Do not despise small beginnings. Even small breakthroughs are signs of greater ones coming. Heaven's storehouses are not limited, and what is set aside for you cannot be lost. Finally, the Spirit of God speaks with gentle authority, and peace settles in. He says He is restoring joy to you. Deep joy. Joy rooted in His presence, not in circumstances. You will laugh again. You will sing again. You will breathe freely again. And in the coming days, His goodness will surprise you in ordinary moments, reminding you that He has always been near, always faithful, and always at work in your life.